Hello, fabulous superstar Sagittarius. Welcome to your horoscope for the month of May 2023. I am your astrologer, Nadiya Shah. Thank you for being here. It is a remarkable astrological month, without a doubt. Big moves happening in the sky now. And this is massive, I will tell you. This may just be the most important month of 2023 for a lot of us out there, and certainly for the collective as well. Massive energies that we start feeling right out of the gate, and big moments of frustration and motivation to make a change. And it starts on the first of the month. That is when Pluto will station retrograde. Pluto standing still in the sky at the height of its power, moving through a part of the sky for you that has to do with siblings, cousins, neighbors. It has to do with conversation and learning. Pluto is a meditation in power and powerlessness. And with the retrograde, you're making that distinction in some way. Siblings, cousins, neighbors, these are the people that may stir your emotions most strongly now. But there's also a distinction to be made to understand what's yours and what isn't. There could be things happening in their lives, and you realize that is the journey that they need to walk. There could be things taking place in terms of your feelings around something that they might have done, direct or indirect. Now, that's just one scenario. Because this part of the sky speaks to perception and communication, keep in mind your words and the power and effect of those words. Understanding the depth of that may be part of what you may need to learn now, so that you choose what it is that you say consciously and responsibly. And so, as all this emotion is stirring for all of us out there, for you, it's speaking to mind most strongly. It's inviting you to direct the emotion that you feel so that you see the underlying truth in all things, and where it is that you can look beyond what otherwise would be messy, part of the shadow, if you will, and still see beauty there. That's when you're using this energy to your advantage. Now, on the 5th of the month, we have a lunar eclipse. This lunar eclipse takes place in the sign just before yours. And to me, this is all about awareness. What you didn't know, all of a sudden you do, and it makes a massive difference for you now. Consider how this lunar eclipse is standing across the sky from Uranus and a retrograde Mercury. It's that Uranian connection in particular that's rather fascinating to me, because that suggests that in a moment, clarity comes and that it feels surprising, perhaps even shocking. So, this could be related to any person, place, thing, or situation, but given how lit up the part of the sky for you that has to do with your daily life is right now, with a month like this, well, it may very well speak to a client, a customer, a coworker. It might have been changes that were underneath the surface or in the works for a while, but you just didn't know it until in an instant you do. This can also be very powerful insights into yourself, into what you're really doing in contrast to your stated intention. And so, this illumination on perhaps your habits, your rituals, and realizing what works for you and what doesn't, may be part of the energy of this time. This is cold turkey kind of energy here. And so, you may find yourself making changes very quickly, leaving something behind so that you can feel that much more alive, going in new directions. Ultimately, I think of this part of the sky as faith and the conviction that comes from knowing that you have so much more to do in this lifetime. You absolutely do, even if the details aren't clear just yet. Now, as we navigate further, middle of the month, that is when things really get lit up in powerful ways for you. On the one hand, we have Mercury going direct on the 15th. Remember, it's that daily part of your sky so lit up. Really, a party gets going there, first with Mercury direct. The sun is already there. And then on the 16th, the day after Mercury direct, Jupiter enters this part of the sky. On the 19th, a new moon in this part of the sky. So, first, let me say with that new moons bring new opportunities and possibilities. It's your daily life, as I mentioned, your work, the people you interact with regularly at your work, at your gym, as you move through your life. It also has to do with your health related habits. Well, that new moon speaking in harmony with Mars and Neptune is just so beautiful. It's empowering and inspiring, and it's encouraging positive changes and a feeling of excitement for what could be ahead. But I know that the glitz, the glamour, the glory is going to go to Jupiter, of course. Jupiter settling into a brand new part of the sky, your ruling planet at that. Well, this is where your awareness around massive blessings start to shift, where you realize how much power there is to be found as you move through your day and pay attention to the details where possible. And so, on a very immediate level, this can represent improved relationships with clients, customers, coworkers. An abundance of work could find you now. Better work related opportunities could find you now as well. Perhaps moving up or changing departments could end up being really great for you also. If it is that you're looking to go in totally new directions, new environments, perhaps new companies, Jupiter can suggest that there'll be a lot of opportunities there. If you're happy where you are, well, you're feeling that much more secure and abundant. This can also be wonderful energy where it comes to your health and how well you're taking care of you. I love this energy for you. I think you'll feel a whole lot better. I think you'll find a way to make little changes that very quickly feel like they bring healing energy in. Now, of course, I'll talk a lot more about Jupiter in the Jupiter special horoscopes. So be on the lookout for that in the weeks ahead. But of course, I had to mention this now. Now, if all of this wasn't enough, we've got a massively important celestial event set to take place as soon as Jupiter enters a brand new part of the sky. The days that follow begin setting up a larger configuration called the Grand Fixed Cross. And the Grand Fixed Cross is big planets all in fixed signs speaking to each other. Jupiter moving into the sign just before yours. All of the mutable signs are going to experience this energy in a way that evokes the placement of these given planets. And there's this contrast here, right? As I said, Jupiter's in the sign just before yours. Pluto squaring that Jupiter in that communicative part of your sky. Mars newly in a worldly part of your sky, setting the stage. And then you add in the nodes of the moon, with the north node so close to Jupiter, the south node across the sky from that Jupiter in that part of the sky for you where the eclipse takes place in earlier in the month. Well, you can see here, there's so much stirring within you, soul, psyche, spirit, but also in your life. But you're also looking at your ethics, what you believe, and whether or not you are actually living in a way that aligns with the philosophies and beliefs that guide your life. How it is that you speak to people, how you move through your life as you do your errands, moving through your neighborhood as well. Are you living it all with integrity or not? This becomes especially emphasized with the fact that Pluto and Mars are going to perfect an opposition right around the 20th of the month, part of this larger configuration. This is very important energy. It speaks to that contrast between some worldly sense and what it is that your life is showing you more locally. But I will say, if it is that you are involved in a legal matter, a higher education matter, this could be where a lot of energy and attention needs to be paid to that. And then you reach a moment of culmination on the other side of it, finding the conclusion that is right for you. For all this, yes, moments of stress are there, but there's also real potential and possibility. It's going to be rooted in faith, but it's also going to be rooted in paying attention to what is in front of you to do. My dear friend Michael Barwick, you've seen him on my channel so many times, I know. He's always talking about how much he has to do and how you got to keep doing it and you got to keep putting videos and stuff like that out. And I always tell him, it's not about that. It's about one video. doing one. That's it. It doesn't matter series, it doesn't matter what you're cranking out or any of that. What matters is that you do one and you enjoy it and you embrace the process and see where it takes you. And I think that there are going to be some Sages out there, no matter what it is that you do or you want to do, or how that metaphor plays out in your life. Yeah, there's a lot of power in just focusing on one day at a time, what's in front of you to do right now, knowing that the bigger picture will find a way to come together. When you pay attention to the day, the months, the years, the decades, they have a way of being pleasing to you also. Now, where it comes to matters of love, it is going to be a week into the month that Venus will leave your opposite sign, moving into a deeply consequential part of your sky, having to do with profound bonding with another person. This is energy of vulnerability and intimacy and authenticity. If you don't feel it, it's just not going to work for you navigating forward from here. So, for those of you open to meeting someone new, I have to say, the first week of the month, we've got this really interesting energy where first Venus connects with Neptune and then in harmony with Jupiter. And so I feel like there's a little bit of a roller coaster just before Venus leaves your opposite sign. And that is facing some disappointment of the past before you nurture hope. And there's every reason for hope. Once Venus changes signs, um, it is going to be that much more important to you to feel authentically connected to another person. And I think there's likely going to be a feeling of a very faded pull in a particular direction towards a particular person. Um, that doesn't necessarily mean long term, it might be, but it is about you coming to some truth about yourself and attraction and what you believe fate is. It is likely that you're going to attract at least one moment through honesty, vulnerability, and intimacy, regardless of where you take it in practical terms. Well, it ends up being the case that it shows you some truth about yourself and serves as a catalyst to meaningful change. For those of you just starting to date someone, what a remarkable time this can be. It's all about honesty. Is there something authentic here or not? Where you feel an authentic connection here, well, that'll feel like it fortifies for you that much more now. This is a depth of bonding that you might share. But if it is that there isn't something authentic and honest here, you may find yourself going in brand new directions. It just isn't going to cut it to be in something that feels superficial in any way. You want what's real, you want what's honest. And if you have that, great. But if you don't, you can't help but be honest with yourself so that at least you start taking steps to move towards the love you actually want. And for those of you in an established bond, what a remarkable time this can be. Now, the placement of Venus a week into this month, moving forward and into the first days of next month, well, that can be really nice for your partner's income. Sometimes there's a boost there. Sometimes your partner is able to be more generous with you in some way. And so that can be really nice. Outside of that, this is energy of intimacy, vulnerability, and wanting to feel closer to this person that you love. And that can lend itself to some deeply meaningful moments. For that very small percentage of Sagittarius out there, if you felt for a while that maybe you're not in the right relationship for you, that is really going to stir for you very strongly once Venus steps into that honest and consequential part of your sky. So much so that you will be invited to consider what needs to change, whether that is working on your relationship with your partner or what going in a different direction might be for you. What I love about this month for you, there's so much here. It's a valuable and meaningful astrological moment. Wow. And it is a very active time, but I am going to say Jupiter changing signs. Jupiter is your ruling planet. Whenever Jupiter is on the move, you feel it that much more, and a new area of life takes on importance for you, as is the case now. This is a real opportunity for you to embrace the possibility and the excitement. And there's a lot of excitement to be had. You truly are coming to a depth of appreciation into the power of your day. You'll find yourself there in the present moment. And where you take it one day at a time, that's where you're going to find happiness and success in the bigger picture of time. Thank you so much for watching. You can get a video like this each and every week for each and every sign for as low as just $3 a month with Choose Your Membership rate at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. As a superstar, you get expanded, exclusive video scopes, access to exclusive live events, and higher tiers get you things like access to Synchronicity University classes, consultations with me, and so much more. All of this in the superstar space at NadiyaShahSuperstars.com. I look forward to meeting you there.